Good afternoon. My name is Sylvia Donaldson, and I'm the Manager of Training and Organizational Development for the Department of Personnel. And we welcome everybody here, our honored guests. We welcome all of the graduates, all of your family and friends and loved ones here for our first ever graduation from the Training and Organizational Development Division's Leadership Academy. And I think you guys need to give yourselves a hand. We really welcome everybody here because we think that what the graduates have done is really a fantastic job. I mean, they kind of don't see it as well as we do, but when we look at it from our point of view, we look at the Leadership Academy, which is a competency-based leadership development program. It consists of 140 hours of training, education that the students have to go through in order to receive certification as a City of St. Louis municipal leader. And this is the first group of students who have made it through, and we are so proud of them. There are a couple of things I want you to kind of know about the Leadership Academy. It is in answer to a need to help individuals develop their leadership skills no matter where they may be in city service. We are very blessed to have a group today that represents a really great cross-section of employees. We have line employees, we have supervisors, we have managers, including one very newly minted manager. So we have people at all different ranks, and we think that's what leadership is. Leadership is something that you see in everybody. It doesn't take a person who is a supervisor or a manager to have good leadership skills, and I would suggest that most supervisors and managers want to have line employees that have good leadership skills also. Helps us to meet the goals and the objectives and the missions that our departments have, that our individual working sections have, and that the City of St. Louis has when we have people that are good leaders and have good leadership skills. And we think that we've developed 9 folks here and 2 more who couldn't be with us today to have those great leadership skills. So we are very glad to have everyone here. We're going to spend a little bit of time honoring them today for having made it through the Leadership Academy, for having accomplished everything that was necessary, and being at this point. As I mentioned, it's 140 hours of a competency-based leadership development program, and the first 40 hours are actually all of the supervisory classes that are mandatory for all supervisors and managers in the city service. So we make sure that they have a really good foundation on supervisory skills and the responsibilities and the duties of supervisors first. And then on top of that, we look at 24 competencies that we think are really important in terms of leadership development, customer service, understanding the organizational development background, a lot of skills and a lot of competencies that we think are really important, and we've developed 20 classes that are in addition to those 40 hours that will help the students to develop those skills. And so we think that everyone has, we think that they have a really good footing and that everyone is ready to really help the city move to the next level. So we congratulate you graduates, and we thank everybody that supported and assisted them. One of the things that they were required to do is to have the approval of their appointing authority in order to go in through the program. And that meant that the appointing authority said, this is an individual that has shown me some leadership skills. We want them to do better. We want them to go further. And we will do what's necessary to assist them in completing all of the requirements for the Leadership Academy. So we also thank all of those appointing authorities that gave permission for all of you to participate. We know it took you out of their offices for a number of hours. We know that there was a lot that was asked of you, and we're very grateful that they saw leadership in you and that they were willing to do what was necessary to help you develop those skills. We're very blessed today also that we have some very prestigious folk who are going to speak to you guys for a moment. That would not include me, because you guys know me, but we are very blessed to have Mayor Slay, who is going to give a key address and give you guys a little bit of encouragement, and then also my boss, who is the Director of Personnel, Richard Frank. So they're going to come forth and speak to you for a moment, and then you get the good stuff. Mayor Slay.
Well, thank you, Sylvia. And I do mean thank you, not just for the introduction, but most importantly for the leadership you provide in city government. And I really do appreciate all your work. And to all the city employees that are with us today, I'll say this, that public service really is an honorable calling. And it's a very fulfilling calling because we all are working for the betterment of our community and to make our city and make our neighborhoods look better and make people feel better about St. Louis when they come here. So every employee plays an important role on how our city is projected and how the image of our city for anybody coming and visiting here, anybody wanting to live here and their families, and the work that you do day in and day out is really important in that regard. But I'm here today to especially congratulate and thank all the first graduates of the City Leadership Academy. I mean, you have really stepped up and shown that not only do you care deeply about your jobs, but you also care deeply about city government, and you want to do what you can to improve your leadership ability, to improve the value of your work to city government, and to make city government better. That is something very exciting to me. And I know that this is a voluntary program, and I know that it's 140 hours of work. And so you have made the commitment. You have shown your passion for city government. You've also shown your desire to not only give yourselves an opportunity to advance your career here in St. Louis, but also to even do a better job. And all of us, of course, can have room for improvement, and certainly you're doing everything you can to help yourself in that regard. I want to thank, I do want to thank you and congratulate you. You are really showing a lot of leadership as well, and setting a good example for other employees, that people can come to their job day in and day out, and they can do their job and they can go home. And there's some people that do that, and there are others that go a little bit above and beyond what's expected to show leadership, to show and put a little extra in to do even a better job and to help improve your skills. And I think you find that it makes your job even more enjoyable. I want to thank Rick Frank for his leadership as well in the personnel department. He and I talked about this some time ago, and it's really great to see that this program has come to fruition, and we're here today to congratulate our graduates. Thank you again for your past service to city government, and look forward to a lot of good things coming out of all of you in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We appreciate your time and your words. I hope you guys are heeding what your mayor is saying to you. This is just the start of more to come, so we expect a whole lot out of you guys. I'd also like to bring up now Mr. Richard Frank, who is the Director of Personnel. He's the director of my department, and he's going to say a few things to you about the Leadership Academy as well.
No karaoke, I promise. I have a really bad voice. First of all, I want to thank Sylvia for doing an outstanding job in coordinating this program. Her, along with her instructors, have done just an absolutely fantastic job. But I also want to give recognition to Mayor Slay. Sometimes these ideas come to fruition through my department, but this one, along with domestic partner benefits and a number of other things, were things that the mayor originally asked me to look into several years ago. One thing that the private sector discovered quite a long time ago was that just because you're a good line employee doesn't mean that you're a good manager. So there's a lot written about that and about how to develop succession plans, and part of our duties were to develop in certain departments on a project basis career pathways, and we continue to do that. But one of the most important things is to actually develop the individuals, to equip them with the type of skills and abilities and emotional intelligence that will really allow them to progress. Part of sustainability that we've really prioritized as a city means keeping all sorts of different aspects of your organization dynamic and capable of bringing the best to your constituents, and that means you. We need to develop tomorrow's leaders. We've got an aging population, I'm one of them, and we need to start developing those leaders. And so the mayor asked me this about 5 years ago, and Sylvia worked very hard on putting together an extensive core curriculum, and obviously it's been delivered, I think, in a really fine manner by her staff. But this is something you can take pride in if you choose to advance within this organization, or if circumstances mean that you leave and go somewhere else. This is something substantial and concrete that you can put on your resume, that you can talk about, that is really going to be of value to future employers as well as the city. So again, my congratulations to Sylvia and her staff, to each of you individually, and my thanks to the mayor for his support of these type of programs. So I will end on that, but again, congratulations, and we're looking forward to the next group of enrollees.
Thank you, Mr. Frank. And now the part that you guys have been waiting for. You know, you really didn't want to hear what we had to say. You just wanted to get what we got for you. I know that. I know that. I want to introduce, before we get started, the training staff that has worked with all of you. You're very familiar with them. I'm very fortunate to be, I'm kind of a rehire, a rehash. I've been with the city for 30 some odd years, but I've just been back with the Department of Personnel for the last 4 years. And having been a trainer a number of years ago, and I came back now to manage that specific function, I'm very fortunate to have a training staff that just makes it super easy for me. Very easy for me. All I have to do is discuss what we want to do, and they are good at developing courses. You know that they're good at presenting those courses, and they are really good at keeping things flowing within the department. So I'd like to introduce them to you. They are also going to be the ones that will deliver your certificates. So first of all, we have our senior person, who is Miss Dell Jones. And I think everybody here who definitely who takes classes is familiar with Dell. She's been there for a while, and she's really an excellent trainer. We get a lot of kudos from other departments, appointing authorities, directors, and whatnot about the training that she does, and I would concur with all of those things. Secondly, we have actually our newest member of the staff, but he's ready to make a name for himself, and that's Mr. Herbie Morrow. Herbie has only been with us for about 6 months, 6.5 months at this point, but thank God he came with some training skills. He came with some HR generalist skills. I didn't have to do nothing to get that boy ready to go. I just appreciate that. He was ready to go when he got here, so I'm so fortunate to have him on the staff. One of the other individuals we thought might be here, but he probably got pulled away with something else, is the other trainer that you guys are familiar with that I still count as part of my staff, even though he's not part of my staff, and that is John Unnerstall. Amen. I'm sorry, I'm not a church. John has been a part of the training section longer than I've been there. He was here, I think by the time that Dell came, he was already here. And he actually helped to develop a lot of the curriculum and a lot of the classes and to present classes to the bulk of you. Most of you has your training with Dell and with John. And so he wasn't able to be here with us this afternoon, but I really want to give him his kudos because he's been instrumental in really helping us to develop the curriculum for the Leadership Academy and to present it as well. And then finally, you know, all these pieces of paper don't type themselves. Your certificates don't get made, you know, on their own. All the scheduling doesn't get done without the help of someone who is really skilled at handling that and can juggle a lot of balls in the air at one time. For a long time, or for close to 4 years, she's been my secretary. She's not a secretary anymore. She is now our program specialist, recognizing that she does a whole lot more than clerical and secretarial support, that she does a lot to keep us running in the division. So our program specialist, too, is Ms. Patricia Wells. And now I'm going to ask if Dell and Herbie and our guests would please come forth. We're going to do the certificates. We're going to present them, and you'll get your photos. All right. Thank you. I don't know which side you guys are going to go on.
I know. Okay, without further ado, the presentation of certificates. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge that we have 2 graduates that are not able to be with us today, and that is Brian Doan and Percy Green III. They both are taking the fire exam, the second part of the firefighter's test today, so they were unable to be with us, but I like their Chief Jingerson is here in their stead, and also we have one of the graduates' father here to accept his reward. So I'd like to give acknowledgement to Brian Doan and also Percy Green III for graduating from the program. All right, so as we call your name, you're going to come up, get your certificate, shake hands, and then we'll move to the right, and the mayor will be over here to my right. Thank you. All right, so we'll be starting. All right, Tina Graves, Administrative Assistant 2 from the Lambert Airport. Yes, this is fine. No. Tina. All right, we have Mr. Percy Green. His father is going to accept his certificate on his behalf. Thank you, Mr. Green, for that. All right. Also, next here we have Mrs. Patricia Jackson from the Neighborhood Improvement Specialist. Mr. Joel Klein. He's the accounting coordinator at Lambert Airport.
Joel.
Next we have Miss Judy Lane. She's a neighborhood improvement specialist also. Congratulations. Mr. John Lunn, accounting supervisor from Lambert Airport. Miss Patricia Mattingly. She's a clerical supervisor from the assessor's office. Patricia. Mr. Victor Paglasati, supervising stationary engineer from the water department. Oh, and our very own, Mr. Charles Pratt, Safety Manager, Department of Personnel. Charles.
Congratulations, great work.
And last but not least, the lady in red, Miss Joanne Rankins Cannon, Neighborhood Improvement Specialist. Woo! Joanne. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right, Sylvia. We're going to turn this back over to our esteemed supervisor manager, Sylvia.
You see my burden, don't you? You see my burden. I just really want to congratulate everybody, and one of the things that Dale brought to my attention was I did not recognize the other member of our staff, and he also is a graduate, so he's got dual citizenship today, and that is Charles Pratt. He's a safety manager, he's a member of our staff, and he also teaches some of our classes, so you guys have probably seen him on that side wearing that other hat, so I really want to acknowledge that Charles is a member of our team, even though he didn't come help us set up. I'm not here for that. I want to thank everybody so much for being here. I know that your graduates appreciate you being here, all the managers who were able to come and support their staff who are here. I thank you very much. Great appreciation to Mayor Slay for his time and to Rick Frank for his time. I thank you all so very much. We ask that you stick around for a few minutes, help us eat that big old cake over there, and enjoy a few moments of taking pictures and enjoying your graduates. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.